This used to be my daily driver. If you can't tell, it isn't anymore. This truck has quite the problem when it comes to rust. Today, we're finally going to be addressing that. If you missed last episode, I was finally able to remove my cab. There was some problems, but I sorted them out. Now that I have my cab lifted off the frame, I could start to repair some of the rust issues. The two areas that need attention ASAP are the cab mounts. These things are done. And where the cab actually bolts to the frame. These two problems are the whole reason this truck got taken off the road. The cab was quite literally falling in on itself. So let's start digging into it. I'm going to start by taking a look at the cab mounts. Originally, I thought that I could still save these cab mounts, but as I got closer, I knew it had to be done. The passenger side clearly had a hole on the side, so that thing's shot. The driver's side, on the other hand, just had some rust scale on it. I didn't see any holes, so I thought that I could reuse it, but upon closer inspection, there was a pinhole forming. And if I'm this far in, I may as well replace them. So I'm going to be using a belt sander to get these rivets out. Removing frame rivets is an absolute pain. Last time I had to do this was on the rear leaf spring hangers, and it took forever. Since it's pretty close to the front leaf spring hanger, I think that the belt sander would be a better option here. The belt sander is going to take longer, but I feel like I have more control over it. I'm going to be using a 40 grit belt here, which is the most aggressive belt that I could find. Once I had them all sanded flush with the mount, I hit them a few times and the bracket came right off. However, the rivets stayed put. After a little bit of persuasion with the hammer and punch, I got two of the rivets out. The last two needed a little bit more attention, so I did some more sanding, and I got those two out also. Thankfully, the frame behind the mounts was in really good shape. The same cannot be said about the surrounding area. I'll have to clean that up in a minute, but first, I'm gonna go pop out the passenger side. One thing I always disliked about this truck was the frame. Rust never sleeps, and 3 decades of harsh winters have added up. One day I'll get it sandblasted. For now, I'll have to preserve it the best I can. So let's start by degreasing the section up on top. I really like this engine degreaser when it comes to removing filth. It does a great job of getting all the grease and oil to clump up, making it really easy to wipe off. I'm going to have most of the tools and equipment that I'm using in this video linked in the description below if you're interested in any of it. The oil on top actually saved that small piece of frame, which is cool to see. That's how good this whole frame looked when it was rolling out of the factory. Things have definitely changed though, so it's time to remove some rust. I have most of my frame coated with rust encapsulator. Before I paint, I want to knock off as much of this loose rust as possible. So the wire wheel did a really good job at getting a majority of the loose scale off. But for the harder stuff, I ended up using a hammer and punch to remove it. Once I was happy with it, it was time to paint. I gave the surface a quick wipe down with acetone on a rag, and then I got to it. So this is what the rust encapsulator looks like when it starts drying. It changes from that kind of shiny black to a matte black, which looks a lot better. This doesn't look great because I didn't clean the frame very good, but at least that metal's protected. We're gonna move on to these cab mounts now. And we're gonna start getting them out of here. They're held in with a few spot welds up on top, and also some down below on this lip. And then on both sides you can see it better from the outside, but these spot welds also need to come out. But the spot welds in the back are covered with this sound deadening mat, so I'll need to remove that. I'm actually going to remove it from the whole cab, even this back section, just to check for any rust underneath, and then I'll replace it with something else. From one annoying task to another. The sound deadening needs to go, so that I can plug weld the patch panel in from up top later on. I know that dry ice is the best for removing sound deadening, but I decided to use one of these freeze cans instead. It basically does the same thing, just not as well, but it's cheaper. It's going to freeze the sound deadening and allow me to break it off in larger chunks. This was working great until I realized that the can was already half empty. The can runs out pretty quick on these, or maybe I was just using too much. Either way, I still have to do the driver's side, so I decided to save the rest of the can. So I put the can away and got back to the basics: a hammer and a scraper. This method works too. It just leaves a lot more adhesive behind, which I'm going to have to clean up later. And as you can see, this is the end result on the passenger side. It started off really good, and it just got worse as I continued. I do have the perfect tool for this though. This is an adhesive wheel. You put it on a drill and you go to town. Does a really good job at clumping all the adhesive into one pile so that you can scrape it all off at once. After about a half an hour, I got the floor to look like this. It's much better. There's still some small spots here and there, but I'm going to use Goo Gone to take care of that later on. Luckily for me, the driver's side came off way easier. The rest of that spray was a big help. I got the whole thing out in like 10 minutes, and there was very little adhesive left over, which is great. It's about time something actually worked in my favor. So after all that work, I could finally see the spot welds that I need to take care of. I'm going to do my best not to mess up any of this metal on top, because I will need to plug weld it in the future. I started by punching and drilling the back section out. I did have to clean some of the paint off to see some of the spot welds. Once I got the back section taken care of, I moved to the outside. And the last set of welds are inside by the firewall. Once I got everything drilled out, I started to separate the panels. So I just bought the spot weld chisel, and it made my life so much easier when it came to separating the panels. Once I got all the spot welds in the back loose, I moved on to the ones on the outside. And of course, as soon as I started to hit that side panel, things went south. The side panel started to crumble, revealing a nice hole on the backside. That edge piece is way too compromised, so that's just another thing that I'm gonna have to patch up. You can actually see the piece of foam that Ford put into the rocker for sound deadening. That foam is most likely what caused this whole mess. All it does is hold water, and then any metal around it just rots out. It's a really poor design, so I'm gonna be tearing that out later. And in case you're wondering, they use that same stuff in the cab corners. So that's why those rot out too. But anyway, let's get back to separating the spot welds by the firewall. These guys posed quite a problem. There was only one spot that I could wedge a chisel in to separate them, and it wasn't working too well at all, to be honest. I spent like an hour trying to get these spot welds broken free. So that got me thinking, if I need to patch the lower section of the rocker and remove the old cab mount, I may as well just cut a piece of the floor out. Now this might be a great idea, or I just created way more work for myself. I guess we're gonna have to see later on. There's also support that runs to the back of the cab, which needs some patchwork done to it also. So I think this is the best option. I marked the floor with a Sharpie and got to cutting. I was using a 3-inch cutoff wheel here, and it cut most of the panel out. Till I got to the back corner. Then things started to get dicey. The tool was getting caught up on the PCM bracket. So I decided to switch to a Sawzall. And this thing cut through everything like it was butter. I need to buy one of these for myself. I had to borrow this one. And the worst part is that I've walked past the small handheld Sawzall at Harbor Freight like 3 times, and each time I convinced myself that I didn't need it. Well, I was wrong. This thing was a lifesaver. The only thing that sucked about it is as you got farther into the cut, the panel just got looser and looser. So it started jumping all over the place. So I just put a pair of vice grips onto the bottom to keep it still. Once that piece was cut out, the only thing holding this up was the drilled out spot welds. Never in my life did I think I would be dismantling this truck so much. Cutting the floor out is way above my skill level, but I want this thing to be rust free. The floor itself has some surface rust on the backside that I need to take care of. And like I said, that support needs some patchwork. But I need to finish what I started. I still have to get that rotted panel completely off. So there had to be more spot welds somewhere. So I cleaned up the sides, and I was able to see 4 spot welds on the side, and then another 4 on the bottom. So I just took care of those. All that was left was beating that last piece of the mount off. With this cab mount off, we can finally start to repair some of the stuff. However, that will take place in next episode, as I'm waiting for some parts to come in. So till then, I'll see you guys later.